Ooh, don't remember the team name. Los Santos Sceptiles. Um, so this is postcom. My computer sometimes has memory issues, and it was going really wacky with some stuff like that at the beginning, including we started this battle and then it closed the battle, like my whole browser completely, and wouldn't reopen for a little bit. So sorry to my phone. Thank you for dealing with my computer going crazy. So I didn't want to try to get my recorder going at the same time as to overload the computer, which obviously when it closed its the browser down without being told to, it still was overloaded. But so we've got Ferrothorn, Girder, Volcarona, Garchomp, Mega Gyarados, and Zeraora. So Ferrothorn is. I wasn't too sure if Colossal would come. There was a good chance it did, but I also, it's a Colossal. It could very well come, but it could very well not. Like it had a decent matchup, but you never know. So Ferrothorn, if Colossal didn't come, was in a really great spot, I think. It was Rest Talk with Curse and Gyro Ball. And obviously there were some other things like Savali can carry fire moves and stuff like that, and Latias could have it in that. But I thought it was in a pretty decent spot. Based on the team we brought, not so much, but yeah. And it had what was a berry on it? Why am I blanking? It had a Chapel Berry for Urshifu specifically. Although obviously there's a few other things. But yeah, it had Chapel Berry. Girder was supposed to be updated with amongst the memory issues. It reverted my team back a little bit. And I realized one thing and changed one thing, and then I didn't realize the other, which didn't actually. I ended up clicking the move that I didn't want to bring. I was debating between the two. So we had Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Bulk Up, which was supposed to be Fire Punch, but we went back to it reverted back to Bulk Up, which in the end wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Actually, it was kind of a good one. Defog as well, just because he had potential hazards that he could spread around pretty good. Spikes and rocks with Colossal, and I believe he had a Sticky Webber, though don't quote me on that. I would have to double check. Yes, he did. Slurp Off as well as Tentacruel, which I kind of thought would come, and has T-Spikes as well. So he had fair amount of options, so I knew I needed to bring a Defogger. Volcarona is pretty much at max HP, max speed with a Will-O-Wisp, Fiery Dance, Roost, and U-Turn, and Heavy Duty Boots. So it's hoping to spread some burns and things of that nature. Colossal potentially being Steam Engine is a bit of a problem that I'll have to kind of keep in mind / take the risk at some points. But we'll see how that plays out. Garchomp is decently standard for me, but it has Rocky Helmet this time with Rough Skin. I was kind of wishing I brought some Lumberries this battle. Apparently, I need to bring Lumberries every battle because this league everybody likes to really spam hazards versus me, status versus me, which makes sense. But also, jeez, can I get 1 week where you guys don't try to status me to Kingdom Come? Earthquake, Scale Shot, Fire Fang for Mega Scizor, and Sword Stance. Gyarados is somewhat standard. It has Waterfall, Crunch, and Fire Blast with Dragon Dance. I ended up going Intimidate. I had kind of a combination of things at various points, but we ended up going Intimidate, which was the other thing that reverted back. I caught that one, so we did bring Intimidate. It wanted to go back to Moxie, as I debated between the two, but yeah, Zeraora ended up being Bulk Up this week, and actually it ended up being not a really great bring. I know why I brought it, but in the end, I'm not a huge fan. I wish I brought instead of Bulk Up Knockoff or with a Lumberry or something. It had a Shuka. Can't remember what his actual ground type is. Mamoswine. He didn't bring Mamoswine, which it was kind of meant to be a Mamoswine lure. So Bulk Up, Shuka, Close Combat, Fire Punch, and Plasma Fists. I thought about Knockoff a few times over specifically Close Combat, but yeah, that's where we ended up. So we are going to lead with the Gyarados. I don't really have a set lead this battle. I was kind of expecting Cole to lead. So I'm going to lead Gyarados. It can intimidate most of his team, and then I can potentially swap if I need to right off the start. As well as if he does lead Cole, obviously that puts a decent amount of pressure right off the top. So we will lead that and see how it goes. So in this case, he's going to lead Silvally. We find out it's Silvally ground. So we do get the Intimidate, which is nice, but at the end of the day, I've got to fear Thunderbolt. If he's running ground, there's a decent chance he has Bolt Beam as well, or the Ice Fang version of Bolt Beam. So I kind of have to be prepared for that. I know there's a decent chance he doesn't have one or either, but at the same time, I don't really want to leave Gyarados in here. I don't really want to try to set up and go for game right yet, obviously. I don't really have good ways to hit Rotom, for example. So I'm just going to switch out. I'm going to go into Girder. And kind of takes everything decently well, as if he does go for status, it's got guts. So I don't hate it getting anything. So he does get T-waved, which, like don't get me wrong, I'd rather not play with paralysis. But at the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal. I'm going to fire off an Ice Punch, because obviously that hits Silvally super effective. It hits Slatty, and it hits Rotom, which are the two likely switch-ins. You get full parried. It wouldn't have killed by any means. It might have made me change this adjust this with the guts, which I can't remember exactly. I can't remember if I calced specific to this Rotom, but the Rotom I was killing against, even at the -1 with the guts, 2 Ice Punches would have killed, and I live at least 1 Air Slash because I'm Violate with a good amount of bulk. So I don't know if I would have stayed in or not. I mean, it's hard to theory my own brain. So we end up just going Zeraora. I know Will-O-Wisp there's a pretty good chance of Will-O-Wisp coming or having the option for Will-O-Wisp. I didn't think he'd go right for it. I figured he would fire off 1 Air Slash just to see what I wanted to do and things like that. But he does go right for the Will-O-Wisp, which, fair enough. Good play. This is where I'm wishing I had, the Lumberry. Or if he missed it, that would have been great too. I go for Plasma Fist. It was a bit silly. I should have gone for something else, mostly because not just the chance he could switch right back into the Valley, but also the thought process of just clicking Plasma Fist instead of setting up or anything else was I want to gauge what the Rotom is. So, I mean, I could get that same info. Obviously, I'd do a little bit less, but I could get that same info by clicking another move. So, it was a mistake, but we're just going to switch out into Gyarados, get another Intimidate. Goes for Parting Shot, which is more or less what I expected. I didn't think he'd just go straight for it. If I did, I would have stayed in, but he's going to go Rotom, which isn't great. We're going to go back. Zeraora at this point is pretty much useless. I mean, it can do some damage and stuff. I believe we click Fire Punch on this one. Oh, no, we bulk up first. So we do bulk up first. It would give us a half-decent position if you go straight to Valley. Still not great, but... and then we're going to fire a Fire Punch. Again, I want to see what this Rotom is. We do find out the Silvally does get burnt, which is really nice. We will take that for sure. At the end of the day here, I live 1 anyways with the +1 defense and the Shuka, if he's not burned. So I don't know if I play this any different, to be honest. Just bulk up again. Gets a Parting Shot. This is where I can't really hit Latias, which he doesn't know yet, but obviously, and he's going to Baton Pass. I believe I Fire Punch thinking he could go into Scizor. No, I Plasma Fists. Why did I do that? I should have Fire Punch. But anyways, not because of Silvally, but it's just going to close combat. We'll do a chunk of damage. Just try to chip this thing down, plus the burn and everything. Again, I live that. I mean, really well. You can see even in that situation, even without the burn, I believe we lived that. Fire off a Fire Punch. Again, just in case he wants to get fancy and go Scizor hard for some reason. Silvally's getting chipped down, which is nice. Going to Baton Pass out into Silvally. So obviously by the fact that it's Zeraora, we know it's Scarf Laddie with Baton Pass, which I've seen him bring a couple times, so not out of the ordinary there. I'm going to go Volcarona, just so I can pivot again, and I have a easy sack in Zeraora. So I am going to just go ahead and pivot here. Want to see if he's lefties or whatever. I'm going to go Zeraora. He just clicks Will-O-Wisp, so we find out he does have Will-O-Wisp, as I kind of expected. And we're going to go Garchomp. Just to kind of scare it out, I want to see... I don't think we ever found out, but I want to... Oh, no, we did find out. if I just clicked Earthquake, obviously something dies. But I want to see if Cole wanted to stay in. That's right. If it switched out, I said it wasn't Shuka. If it was Shuka, it was going to stay in a Will-O-Wisp. So I want to switch out, expecting a Will-O-Wisp, or at least protecting for that option. Let's go Skirter. I can't remember what I click here. Going to Parting Shot out again. So Savali's hanging on by a sliver. Thrower is dropped. I bulked up. Yes, that's right. I bulked up. So he does miss an Air Slash, which would hurt. It could have flinched me here. That's the big thing that could happen. He will point that out late game as a bit of hacks, which it is, obviously. I should have had one into Rotom earlier, not after I bulk up, so one less attack. He's going to Volt Switch. We find out his Pain Split, so we find out his whole side at this point, which it's pretty much what I expected. We're going to curse. We are going to switch out. Flamethrower will kill us at that range from Cole on pretty standard Cole, so we're just going to go Girder. Ice Punch, I believe. Yep. And I believe we're going to go back into Pharaoh. Yeah. So Pharaoh at this point, as I said, it's not quite as good as I'd like it to be this match. So we're kind of going to be in the situation. He's going to Will-O-Wisp, which is fine because we're going to rest immediately anyways. These next couple turns will speed up a little bit. We're not going to get Great Luck on Sleep Talk, but it's Sleep Talk. What are you going to do? We're also going to get flinched a decent number of times in this exchange. We finally get a curse near the end, and it just isn't quite enough or early enough. Or yeah, Ferrothorn just it wasn't. It didn't show up to the park today, and that's okay. Gonna curse. He's gonna go down to burn. I do live one from here, so I go for it. I was hoping to get, Gyro Ball, but alas. Oh yeah, I saw Flame Body here. Wow, I forgot I saw Flame Body completely. Anyways, I took the risk later in the game, but I completely forgot about this. When you watch back, sometimes you realize mistakes you didn't even remember were mistakes, info you had, and things like that. I was definitely distracted during this battle too, which didn't help. We are going to get the drop on the Rotom after the bulk up because we did more Parting Shot at this time, which is great. I'm going to put this back to slow. I believe I swap into Pharaoh, just killing it off to the rocks here, which I more or less just saved it as a sack. It didn't do its job, and that's okay. It's actually the member who's come to the game is the least on my team. And Chimecho has more kills, so... Or it's tied for the least now. It's tied for the least now with Chimecho and Auroras. So, poor Ferrothorn. I normally use it quite well. This league, not so much. Just hasn't really done what I wanted. So this turn, let me go back here. We're just going to U-turn. We live any one thing off Latias. If he has Surf, it does like half, roughly. So, we go in here. Obviously, I don't want to switch this in and out right away, at least not if it's Mega, because it's taking chip from the rocks. Which I do have Defog on Girder, but I don't know if I'm going to get a turn to clear them. So, obviously he has Will-O-Wisp. Obviously Waterfall will kill. How do we want to play this? There's a lot of options, and we all know the options, and none of us know what the other's going to pick, right? He knows if I DD here, Will-O-Wisp is the play, obviously. We don't know everything here. I'm assuming he has a rock move, so I do Mega right away. If he Will-O-Wisp me, my thought process that ended up making the difference for me is even if he does Will-O-Wisp me, I should be able to then DD again and not take too much damage, which would then actually make me outspeed the Latias. Obviously, I'm only then back to neutral attack, but I think I'm still in an okay spot. And depending on his last move or if he switches or what, maybe we even are able to get really greedy and go for 3. So in the end, I do DD here. Honestly, forgetting in this moment as well that Latias is will outspeed this next moment, I should say. I remembered it there and then I forgot it here. So it is going to click Aurasphere, which will hurt us, not kill us, which is great. As we just click Crunch. It's going to go into Scizor here, which is what I expected. So I'm going to click Waterfall. So I have Fire Blast, but it's not going to OHKO because it's a Mega Gyarados. It's not going to be especially phenomenal. But we are going to click Waterfall. If I get a flinch on whatever he wants to do, awesome. Because then he should be in range of Fire Blast to kill, no matter what he clicks, unless it's Roost, obviously. In which case, we're in the same situation. That was kind of the thought process. We end up getting a crit, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, by any means. As he curses, I think I live any priority move here. I forgot about Quick Attack, which is really cool bring. So good on him. Smart play. Didn't get the flinch, which is okay. I mean, we're going for something a little bit crazy there. But we are just going to go into Volcarona. I'm going to click Fire Dance. I was actually worried about it because at the moment I was thinking Steam Engine was a possibility, but we're then going to be able to just U-turn out with Volcarona and go into Girder, hoping to get a Drain Punch off to take it out, depending on what it did. That Flamethrower obviously means we're not going to get that off because he is going to be faster because we are paralyzed, which is okay. We're going to go Garchomp now. Even if he is Shuka, he's going to drop to an Earthquake here. So we're just going to click it. He doesn't really have anything he wants to switch in. He's going to go Scissor. I'm just going to click Earthquake again. I'm not going to get too fancy. If he Quick Attacked, I think he might even go down to my recoil and stuff. But which in the end is what he probably should have done. I think he was fishing for me to switch out into Volcarona. This end game here with the 2-on-2, like this, every turn you could have a coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and we'll just see what happens. It's going to be very close. Obviously, at this point, we know that. So I'm thinking this is probably Scarf. So I'm going to switch out into Volcarona, which should live 1 Wicked Blow and has the chance for Flame Body. And then I'll click Will-O-Wisp the next turn. But we'll find out that's banned. So at this point, I don't know if he's Adamant or Jolly. So we're going to click Earthquake. He's going to Wicked Blow. It is going to come 1% shy of killing. And I knew from the calcs that it wasn't Black Glasses and had to be banned. So we are going to be able to pick up the Earthquake to finish it off. So Garchomp does finish it off. Obviously, there's all kinds of stuff in this that could go any which way. There's a full para on, turn 2? That could have made a difference. It's hard to say because everything in the early game definitely could have changed how we all played in all these. It wasn't there's not an if-then situation. So we'll just leave it at very good game. Definitely could have gone either way. Honestly, I don't know if I deserve to win it, but Garchomp isn't going to be able to clutch it out. I believe it's a roll, that 1%. I don't remember the exact number on the roll, but it is a roll. So definitely, when I say could have gone either way, could have gone either way. Obviously, 1% is usually a roll, let's be blunt, but feel the need to say it anyways. So very GG to Aaron, who is running the league. So thank you for that. We do move to 6-0 somehow. We somehow have not dropped yet, even though I feel like we should have many times. But we keep on marching. Hopefully, at some point, I'll make the changes I need to to make the team a little less predictable and the like. But we will have to see as we go forward. Have a great day, everybody, because Coach Oak said so. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye and good night.